There is an off switch that is in our power grid. Now, whether you're in the United States, you're in Europe, you're in the UK, you're in Australia, other countries that are using renewable resources are not often aware of the fact that China is building Trojan horse backdoors into some of the most critical infrastructure that is being installed. And it is literally an off switch. We're going to talk about what National Security Advisor, previous National Security Advisor, has to say about it, what they've found recently, and we're going to talk about some of the history that we've seen here, not only with the Chinese government doing this, but also the American government doing this. Yeah, we invented this, and it's coming home to roost. All right, friends, let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are the things the mainstream media just won't cover. These are the things that they don't want you to know about and things that they don't want you to be prepared for. All right, so what am I talking about? Am I going a little crazy here? Well, I'm not the one finding these devices, but China has been found to be installing radio cellular communication equipment into critical infrastructure. We're talking about power inverters for solar panels. Now, we're not talking about like the power inverter at your house necessarily, though that may actually have there. We're talking about the big ones that they use for the grid tie solar systems. These inverters handle lots and lots of power and make sure that the power coming off the panels gets synced up with the grid to make sure that it's the right frequency, right? Not only the right frequency, but also as it's going negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, it needs to line up. It needs to sync up. If the grid is at a positive on that wire and the inverter is kicking out a negative, you're going to have some problems, because not only is it like the equivalent of switching off that whole bank of solar, but it's actually twice as powerful, because you're actually doing the opposite, right? You're shorting out the system for that amount. Now, if you have large amounts of solar who are getting full sunlight and they all start flipping off simultaneously, could that collapse the power grid? Well, you can ask Spain that question. They're saying that there was no hack and that there was no issues there, known issues, but it's quite possible that the cellular communication equipment on their inverters could have been hacked, because it's there. We've done extensive reviews of our equipment in the United States, and they have found over the last 9 months hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things in some of the most critical devices. And this isn't the first time that China has done something like this, okay? One of the things that was very concerning to me, and everyone else was kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would they do that? Ports, the cranes that they use to get shipping containers on and off ships, like 95% of them are all manufactured in one country, China. So 95% of these container cranes are manufactured in China. And then, they're manually operated. Somebody sits up there and, moves the crane around. But when security people looked over these cranes that were coming to the United States, doing a real in-depth thing, they started going like, what's that box there for? Like, what is that box? And nobody knew what the box was. And so they started looking at it further, and they noticed that basically on all of the cranes coming to the United States, they had these cellular modems attached to the cranes. And these cranes don't interact with the internet at all, so why is it there? And as they looked at it, they realized that this communications equipment could be used to seize remote control of the crane, which is a capability that they didn't ask for and nobody really uses out there. But why would China install these cranes with this capability for remote control. Well, let's just take it over to another country, Taiwan. Why would China want to be able to remotely control the cranes? Like if they're invading the country, they pull up their ships into the docks, the ports, uninspected, and they start remotely activating the cranes with drone pilots, essentially, to start unloading the military equipment at the port as some of the commandos get out there and seize the port infrastructure. They can remotely operate the cranes until they can get people up in those cranes. And even then, I mean, those cranes are going to be targets, military targets, so do you really want to put people up there anyway? But, you know, that's really concerning. I've said repeatedly, and I went to Taiwan. I know I lost most of the footage. But in Taiwan, they have a dozen or more giant cargo ships, container ships, that arrive in Taiwanese ports every day. And they're coming directly from China. 12 or more directly from China, Chinese ports, directly to Taiwanese ports. They don't stop for inspection. There's no Coast Guard inspection to make sure that the ginormous ship isn't full of Chinese soldiers. Any given day, the Chinese could put 500,000 or more soldiers on Taiwanese soil before anybody knew what was happening. And they would probably want to use the remote controls on the cranes. So like I'm saying, this isn't the first time we've discovered suspicious boxes on critical infrastructure. But now, over the last 9 months, a major security review of inverters and battery packs, as well as electric vehicle chargers, heat pumps that are used to cool the battery packs, and even the inverters. All of these devices were found to have capability for them to be remotely controlled from outside, capabilities which these devices were not advertised with, and two, they shouldn't have. So why is China spending money to install these expensive devices on this critical infrastructure as it's coming to the United States? And I dare say it's not just coming to the United States, it's going to other countries like in Europe. All these countries in Europe, like even the inverters for the windmills, and other components of the windmills have been seen to have these devices on them. And so what's going on here? I mean, it's hard not to see this as a coordinated global Trojan horse hacking attack. They're all about everybody get on green energy, but we're installing all this equipment, lots and lots of equipment, that could be used to take down our power grids. That's problematic. Now, before you start asking the question, which everybody is, Steve, are you overreacting? Are you conjuring up things when there aren't there? Except the United States government is actually very concerned about this very thing. Mike Rogers, who was the former director of the National Security Advisor, he was in the National Security Agency, the NSA, said, "We know that China believes that there is value in placing at least some elements of our core infrastructure at risk of destruction or disruption." And said also that the Chinese are hoping that widespread use of inverters from China limit our options to deal with the security issue. They're the ones making all the inverters. So you can uninstall the Chinese inverter, and what are you going to put there? Like, what are you going to replace it with? A Chinese inverter? Now, part of this too is when we go back to WikiLeaks and the Snowden files, you go in there and if you do some reading, which guilty as charged, So I know that the black helicopter is going to come for me now. Yeah, I've read a bunch of this stuff. I've read summaries of it, and I've read some of it for myself. But in there, it talked about how hackers from the United States government were like, how can we hack into computers? How can we hack into computers that don't have modems, that don't have any kind of Wi-Fi connected to them? And one of the things that they determined was, hey, we control the plants where the computers are made. Why don't we install discrete modems into the devices, build them into the housing where people won't look, build them into the housing at the factory, or intercept them after the factory and then kind of replace the housing. And then these devices that are off the grid, that don't have any modems, don't have any Wi-Fi capabilities, actually now do have Wi-Fi or cellular capabilities, so that we can then hack them, right? The United States has been doing this for decades. It's been documented. The United States came up with this of using our critical manufacturing capability for phones and for computers, particularly computers. That's where we really got things going. And the Chinese are like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Now that we own all the manufacturing places for a lot of this equipment, we're going to do the exact same thing. And they're just going to do it on a mass scale, whereas the NSA and other departments were focusing in on trying to get into certain people's systems. The Chinese are like, hey, it'd be great to get into like everybody's systems. And so that's what they're doing. And they're not going after your personal data. That's what TikTok is for, okay? TikTok is to get your personal information and the DNA swab thing. So if you want to figure out like what percent African American you are so that you can claim victimhood, that DNA by and large has ended up in China. And they're scooping up all sorts of other data through Temu and other apps and other websites that you're just freely giving them all your information, okay? They already have all your information. They don't need to install devices on you to get your information when you're freely giving it to them. But when it comes to the critical infrastructure of your country, power plants aren't giving away their security codes on Temu. So they got to do something a little more sinister to get in there. And so that's what they're doing. They're installing these modems. They're installing the cellular devices onto critical infrastructure. And up till now, they haven't been noticed really. But after having security people go over all of the equipment looking for this type of stuff, they found it. It's not just some conspiracy theory, but rather it's a fact. It's a fact and well documented. Duke Energy, just this past year, was installing battery packs, and security analysts reviewing the battery packs and such noticed that they had security vulnerabilities. And so they were urging Duke Energy to not install these giant battery packs because they had Trojan horse backdoors, physical backdoors into the systems. Did Duke Energy listen? Of course not. Of course not. Because that would cost more money. And you know what? I mean, is China really going to flip the switch and turn off all of our power? You be the determiner of that factor. Do you think that if China were choosing to invade Taiwan, do you think that they would have any incentive whatsoever to collapse the entire United States power grid? Would that benefit them? It just might. I mean, the United States is a world military power, but you turn off the power of the United States for a couple weeks, and is the United States still a world power? Maybe not so much. Maybe a lot of people would not survive that type of situation. And of course, there's been lots of conversations about how long the American population would survive without power. And the answer is, we don't know until somebody does it. And China would like to find out. Would they pay a high price for that? Maybe, but if they're already looking at all-out war with the United States, what do they have to lose, really? And you have to ask this question too. What happens if they're not planning on flipping the switch, but what happens if they just put the switches in there for somebody else to discover? Or maybe they just go over to Iran or North Korea and they're like, hey, did you know all these switches existed? You know, here's the IP addresses, you know. You can go figure things out on your own. And maybe it's not China that's going to flip the switch. Maybe they're going to hand the keys over, or maybe they're just going to allow someone else to discover them so that some other nefarious actor or some terrorist group, some rogue nation state is going to go in there and flip the switch for China. And then China's going to be like, we didn't know. We didn't know. No, those modems were there for, you know, other customers who wanted to use it remotely. Plausible deniability. China likes plausible deniability on just about everything they do. So we have these rogue devices, and they have been found, and they are capable of potentially destabilizing the power grid intentionally by, once again, getting out of phase. That's the correct term. I was looking for it earlier. Getting out of phase with the power grid, and these inverters can just keep kicking back the wrong phase and really significantly impact the power grid, especially if they do it when these solar panels are getting direct sunlight. They can produce quite a bit of power, and we see the power grid reduces the natural gas usage during the day. We see the coal-fired power plants cool down. We see a lot of the other stable power on the grid starts dropping back, and the solar takes over a significant portion of the grid, and then they go take a bunch of these out of phase. To say that they could collapse the power grid, I mean, is not crazy talk. That's not out of the realm of possibility. And this is me putting my tinfoil hat on, okay? I wonder if the situation of the collapse in Spain did not have to do with that. They're saying it wasn't a hacking attack. They're saying that it wasn't that. But me thinketh they protested too much. You know what I'm saying? And considering how reliant Europe is on renewable energy, they boasted that they got their whole grid over onto renewable energy, and then suddenly, kablooey, the whole thing blows up. There's problems with being on renewable energy, and then there's problems with being on renewable energy components made in China. China who hates you. All right, friends, let me know what you guys think. Crazy talk, or is this really a thing? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.